Today is Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021. It's my first morning to hunt this season, and I can tell it's a little rusty. I thought I had planned plenty of time to wake up and get a shower and get stuff packed up and head out here. As usual for my morning hunts, I was running a little late, and so by the time I got in the stand, it was just about legal shooting time already. The good news is I didn't spook anything, but I think if I wanted a shot at a deer today, I probably would have needed to get up here at least 30 or 40 minutes earlier than what I did, because by the time I got in here and got settled and got to where I could see, I looked down the ridge and there was already 2 big bucks out there. I couldn't tell what they were at first, but they were out there about 100 yards away just feeding on this brush and stuff that's been growing up here on top of this ridge. I couldn't quite tell which deer they were. At first I couldn't even tell they were bucks, but then as they kind of fed along and the sun started to come up, I could see them a little better on the camera. So I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look at the footage on the computer, but I think it was moose and that nice 8-pointer that he's been running with. But I couldn't really tell. When they turned just the right way, made it look like they had some massive antlers, but I know how that can be deceiving in low light conditions sometimes. So, I figure that the deer would be coming back across this ridge if they bedded anywhere out here. And so, I'm pretty sure that's probably the only deer that we'll see. I'll stay out here for a while longer just to see, but I would imagine just with their early season pattern that they're done feeding for the morning and they're bedded down. The good news is that they bedded down on this side of the fence that I hunt, so I'd assume that they were all crossing to the neighbors to bed, but they didn't do that. There's a chance that they're down in there feeding in these hardwoods on acorns, and they'll come back by and they could walk back across this way, but just right now I don't think the odds are very good at that. So we'll see what happens, then get down. Got some fun stuff to do today. Gotta get the guns ready for gun season. Got the muzzleloader and the new Savage 270 that I got for my birthday, and so I'll get both of those sighted in today. Well, that was interesting. I got down this morning, kind of mid-morning, and checked the camera. I was right there. Pretty much any deer that would have given me a shot today would have walked by that camera, and there wasn't much on it. There was a little bit of afternoon activity, which was encouraging though, and so that may, depending on the wind and all that, that may be where I hunt this evening. But I came down here to the bottom of this ridge, the edge of this field, to walk the wood line. I've got a clearing out here that I don't hardly ever step in. I planted it to winter wheat and rye, but it hadn't grown yet, and so I went in there to check it since we had some rain last week. And right before I got to it, 2 bucks, I guess the wind swirled. It's supposed to be good for walking like this, but I guess at the bottom of this ridge it swirled. But anyways, they took off about 30 yards in front of me. They came out of the edge of this woods and they just hightailed it through the field and went all the way to the neighbor's side. And so I'm pretty sure they didn't see me or hear me yet, because I've got a little trail mode here and I was really quiet, and it's really thick right along the edge, and so I'm guessing they just smelled me, but never blew or anything. And there's also a road runner that I spooked right before that ran their way, and so I don't know, that could have been what ran them out of their beds or whatever. So I'm gonna let this place rest a little bit. I'm probably gonna go to another property. I gotta sight in those guns, and then I'll come back over here around lunchtime and check some more cameras on the opposite side of the property just to get a game plan for this evening. I normally don't hunt up on the ridge in the evenings, but you know, they were out there yesterday afternoon, 2 hours before dark, a little more than that. And so they did that yesterday. We got about the same conditions today. It's pretty cool compared to what it has been. So we'll figure it out. And if we got pictures of that one deer, there's probably more using that area that just didn't get the picture taken. So we got time and we got options. Just got to make sure we go to the right place at the right time so we can see some deer. It's 10:30 in the morning. So I got a little while before lunchtime when I plan to go back to that other property. So I went down the road here to this other spot I've got to hunt and check some cameras. There's a lot of good doe activity in daylight and some small bucks, but the big bucks are still either not showing up this past week or they're nocturnal. And so this is going to be a good spot. I'm probably not going to hunt it till not really hunt it until, well, hopefully until I get one of these bucks down at the other property. But this will probably be a good gun spot. I've got some long shooting lanes here, and so since I'm not going to hunt it for a while, this is where I'm going to be to shoot my guns. And this works out pretty good too, because I can set up high on this ridge and shoot down the hill behind me, and there will be a good stop. The bullet can't really go anywhere back there. I'll probably sight in my muzzleloader first, just because I've had issues with that in the past, and then I'll end up with the 270. And so I'll get that thing loaded. I got it cleaned really good last night, and so I'll bust a cap in it first just to make sure all the gun oil's burned off and all that doesn't misfire. After that, I'll get after it. And y'all don't make fun of me today, because my only earmuffs I had are my daughter's, and so they're pink, but I think they are gonna work just fine for keeping my hearing protected. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna need to be able to hear well tonight to hear one of those big bucks walking up within bow range. So you get these on, get the gun loaded, start shooting. Alright, well, I'm headed back out for an afternoon sit. I'm going to go to the same general area I was at this morning, up high on that ridge. Just because the bucks I saw, I know one of them was for sure on the hit list, and they weren't spooked over there, so I think they're bedded down up here, probably pretty close to where I saw them last. So hopefully they'll just cross back on top of this ridge, and start working their way back down to the feed at dark. That should put them crossing in front of me in daylight. So I'm gonna get up here. I am gonna hunt a ladder stand instead of that little cedar tree I was in this morning. That thing, it just moved too much, and I was hidden well, but this other one, I'll be able to see just a little bit farther too. Still should be able to get deer within bow range, so there we go. And conquer the ridge. Alright, well, I'm all set up for the evening now. Got in here clean, didn't spook anything that I know of. This spot is shaded all day long, so that's nice. Got a nice breeze, but we could see a long ways. One of our hit list bucks, RJ, was out in front of this camera yesterday at 5-something p.m., about 40 yards away. And so if he does that again, then we should be in business. Got about 15 minutes left. No deer. I guess it's just a better morning spot up here. It's cool enough that I bet they were moving somewhere. Just not here. It was a good, productive day. Just couldn't get it. The ones we saw in bow range. That's how it goes. Still an adventure though.